So, as some of you may or may not know at this point, over the weekend, the channel actually got suspended. Not just suspended, terminated actually. Um, it was a it was an instantaneous termination with no prior strikes and no prior warnings on the channel. They looked at, I assume, the most recent video. I can't be too sure because YouTube doesn't actually tell you anything, but they watched that and YouTube decided this guy's channel is getting taken down. No warning. And so Saturday at about noon, I got a lovely little email from YouTube that says, "We'd like to inform you that due to repeated or severe violations of our community guidelines, your YouTube account, Hard Vegan, has been suspended. Graphic sexual content that is meant to be sexually gratifying is not allowed on YouTube. We review educational, documentary, artistic, and scientific content on a case-by-case basis. Limited exceptions are made for content with sufficient and appropriate context, and where the purpose of posting is clear. Please be aware that you are prohibited from accessing, possessing, or creating any other YouTube accounts. For more information about account terminations and how our community guidelines are enforced, please visit our help center. If you would like to appeal this submission, please stick your head up your ass and wait 24 hours. That'll help. Hey, thank you." So at that point, I think, understandably enough, I was pretty shocked at what I just read. After all, this is a channel that I've put a lot of hours into and something I quite enjoy doing in my free time, and all of that was just gone now. And I was actually at my parents' at the time when I received this mail, so I kind of had to explain to them that I was probably going to go home a little earlier this weekend than I had originally planned to, and sort of figure out what exactly I was going to do with the channel and whether or not I could get it back. And so I went home and I opened up the appeal form and I pulled out the little writer within me and I started conjuring up the best 1,000-word essay you have ever seen on why YouTube should allow my type of content and how it's not in violation of their community guidelines. At least not to the point where it actually warrants a strike or an instantaneous takedown. I handcrafted that, I sent it off to YouTube, and so about 45 minutes later, I received this wonderful email from YouTube. "Hello, thank you for your account suspension appeal. We have decided to keep your account suspended based on our community guidelines and terms of service. Please visit YouTube Help Center or whatever community guidelines for more information. Sincerely, the YouTube team." And so at this point, you get one appeal through YouTube's official system, meaning that if we played by YouTube's rules, this would have actually been it, and the channel would have just been down. But the thing is, as an avid YouTube veteran who's seen quite a few takedowns myself, I know that the real appeal process on YouTube isn't the one that you send through the form, through their official channels, not even the one they tell you to go to. No, if you actually want a real decent human being to take a look at your channel, you go over on Twitter and you make as much noise as you humanely can. You start banging that war drum, screaming at Team YouTube on over there, until they finally toss you out a response. Which is exactly what I did. And so, I tweeted at them, like the brave heroic soul I am, "Hey, Team YouTube, my channel has been terminated with no prior strikes and what I believe was a mistake. I've never posted content meant to arouse the viewer and simply make properly censored comedic hentai reviews. Please reconsider your decision, here's my channel." And so because a lot of you guys went ahead and helped me retweet and like this and just promote it on Twitter in general, we actually managed to reach the YouTube mandated 1,000 likes required for them to take an actual look at your channel. At which point, they responded, and they said, "Sorry for the confusion, we're passing this along and we'll let you know once we have updates to share." Now, we had a bit of a back and forth before this, but the important part is, at this point, the channel had been passed on to the actual YouTube review team. And so there was nothing to do but wait for the judgment here, because just as you only get one appeal on YouTube's own appeal system, you also only get one on Twitter, at least as far as I know. So if this one got rejected, that would just be it. That would likely be the end of the channel. But I was feeling pretty confident about it, mainly because what I'd received was an instantaneous ban with no prior strikes or warnings whatsoever, which is usually the kind of stuff that's reserved for the actual, like, severe violators of the community guidelines, like the people who post stuff that's predatory to children or just actual porn, stuff that has zero ambiguity in regards to whether or not it's against the community guidelines, which thankfully I don't. But thanks to that, I was feeling a bit optimistic about it. Was I worried that they might misjudge it again and just say, no, you can't come back? Absolutely. I review hentai. If they're gonna turn down any channel, it would probably be mine. So I was, understandably I think, pretty stressed out about it, but there was just nothing that I could do but wait, which is such a terrible feeling. Knowing that everything you've worked for might just be yanked away from you because someone else looked at it and didn't find it fitting to their interpretation of the community guidelines is just such a bad feeling. But anyway, so 2 days later, we did get a response from them, and it said, "You're right. This was a mistake on our end, and we've reinstated your channel. This was the result of an over-enforcement of our policies. We've shared feedback directly with the review team to help prevent similar mistakes in the future. We're sorry this happened." So yay, right? I get my channel back. Epic. That's why I can upload right here now and inform you all what happened. Well, I'm actually just kind of mad about it, because I'm shocked at how aggressively incompetent the YouTube appeal system is. About 2 years ago, I was dealing with some strikes on my channel. I had 1 warning and 2 strikes, meaning 1 more and the channel would have just been gone. And this was just after I'd not uploaded anything for 3 months, which some of you might remember because I had 2 strikes prior to that. And every single time I sent in an appeal, it would get rejected. But the second time around that I had that, when I had the warning and the 2 strikes, I tried reaching out to them on YouTube. And lo and behold, I somehow managed to get through to them despite having the much smaller following at that time. And after they'd reviewed it, they reinstated every single video. So 5 videos, separate videos, had all been rejected through the appeal system. And all of which were reinstated once I actually got through to them on YouTube. The appeal system that YouTube sends you through is just not fair and doesn't actually have, I highly doubt, a human looking at your actual video. Or channel for that matter. And the only reason that I could get through this time and have an actual human review my video is because of the following that I have. And when I was waiting for the response and the message after we'd got it, I of course, as I said, I was freaking out. So I went around and I looked at other people who were tweeting at Team YouTube to see what the average sort of response time would be and when I should expect an answer. And what I found is just, you can go and check this right now. There's just thousands of people over on Twitter with 0 to no following begging for YouTube to re-review their channel. And obviously it's hard to know whether or not these are legitimate takedowns or whether or not these people have actually been wrongfully suspended. But for all we know, all of these people could just be wrongfully suspended and just trying to reach out to have their channel back. If you have 100 subscribers, that's a decent following, and it's not something that's just easy to lose, right? Even if you don't make content, you're still losing all your playlists and everything. But it's only about 10% of the people over there tweeting at them that actually get through, just because they don't have the sweet upcomies that you get from having some sort of following. And the worst is, sometimes when someone tweets at them, YouTube has the audacity to tell them that, well, you know, our appeal system is a very thorough process, and if your first attempt was rejected, you should probably look at our community guidelines. And then they link the guidelines. When stuff like this can happen, you don't tell people that. I don't know how they get away with sending that response back to people. Man, promise me that if you're an up-and-coming creator on YouTube, even if you think that Twitter is an absolute hellhole, which it is, make an account over there and promote it for yourself, because this should not happen to anyone, and it seems that the only way you can prevent it at the moment is just to have a big enough following that you can make some noise over there. Which is such a bad system, but sadly that's just how YouTube works apparently. And I'd also say likewise, if you care for the state of this channel, I'd highly recommend that you either follow me on Twitter or subscribe to the secondary channel that I have up. Because if we get taken down, I have no way of reaching you here. They don't let you access the channel. See, I was actually sort of expecting this, which is why I have an unlisted video on my channel called YouTube is Shutting Down My Channel. Because I thought that if I ever got taken down or got some strikes, they don't let you upload for a couple of weeks, but I could still publish something already out, so I could have that lead to my other avenues before the channel actually gets taken down by that 3rd strike or whatever. But in this case, they just yeeted the entire thing at once, so it didn't even matter. I'm sorry for this randy, sort of shitty video, but I really wanted to let you all know exactly what happened, and possibly answer why the channel has been gone in case you haven't seen the Twitter posts in regards to it. And due to the nature of YouTube, I bet that a lot of you didn't even know that I was suspended, actually. But to the ones that did know, I really want to give a thank you. I was pretty overwhelmed with all the help that you guys gave me and just how you came through and helped me reach Team YouTube. I also had a bunch of mutuals message me just saying like, oh, what can we do? And I'm so sorry that this happened to you. And you know, it's a small gesture, but to everyone that did that, it genuinely meant a lot to me. And it really put my mind to ease, despite the fact that there wasn't really anything we could do but just wait for their response. Sorry for cluttering your sub feed with this pretty subpar video. Hopefully the next one isn't quite as shitty and depressing. That's all, take care.